Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? You did? Aw, that's so sweet of you. I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, and this is Student of the Gun Radio. We're coming at you from the Glass Case of Emotion Studios. It doesn't really matter what day it is, what time it is. What's important is that you're listening louder, that you are there, wherever there happens to be on planet Earth, and that you're listening louder. If you're relatively new or brand new even to Student of the Gun Radio, welcome. Welcome to you. I'm going to warn you. You need to set your preconceived notions aside. Often people will, they'll find the show and they assume that Student of the Gun Radio means something that it does not. They assume that we're going to yak about 22s and 3 guns and no, that's not it. Anybody can talk about hardware. We talk about software. We talk about what's important, what's going on in the United States of America, what's going on in the world. And the fact that a firearm is first and foremost, at least here at Student of the University and in our world, a firearm is first and foremost an instrument of liberty. And you need to wrap your brain around that. You need to understand that if you're going to progress and move forward. Jared's over on the other side. Jared is the co-host. He's the producer. He's the digital mastermind who's trying to master the digitology over there. He's fiddling with buttons and he's changing my monitor around. And you need to make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's what she said. And also, I just connected. I forgot.
You're a child.
To you guys who know what happened, I believe that I fixed my Mac. So hopefully that
is it
happened.
Mac 10? Mac 10.
Yeah, I fixed it, and so I'm reconnecting everything, and I've got 2 monitors hooked up to my little laptop, and the one up on top here, it's sideways. So when I'm trying to,
it's sideways.
I set it so it's above my monitor, but it's sideways. So when I try to scroll around it, I can't really find where the mouse is.
It's crazy. It's like upside down face.
Yeah.
It just turned your entire life upside down face, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes, we are in the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, and I had an interesting question via on the Twitter feed. It was I know your show was. He said I think it was Jeremy. I believe it was his name. Forgive me if I misquote, but he said I know you guys are daily, but what time does your show come on? Are you live? Well, the show actually is pre-recorded, and it is posted. It goes live. I believe it is 4 a.m. Is that Eastern or Central, Jared?
Central.
It's 4 a.m. It's 0400 Central. Okay. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take a look at a map of the world and figure out what time it is in your part of the world when it is 4 a.m. 0400. There we go. Central Time. Central American Standard Time. Folks, you know what Jared, did you see somebody? You don't follow the Twitter feeders, do you?
The Student of the Gun?
Yeah.
It depends.
Well,
if I open my Twitter feed.
I had an interesting. I was looking at the Twitter feed, and yes, that is the. As you know, if you're a fan of Student of the Gun Radio, you know that there is only one social media format that I'm allowed to have direct access to.
Yes, and that would be Twitter.
And that's Twitter. Twitter's the only one that your beloved host has direct access to. The Facebook, Gun District, Instagram, all the other stuff. She's a good woman. And that's all put up by either Zachary or Jared. But the Twitter one, I actually have control over. But the reason that I mention is because I get on my phone and I just say whatever happens to be on my mind at the moment, which can be a good thing and it could be a scary thing sometimes. But we got a like or a retweet or something from the Grand Coalition of Zambia. Yeah, like the African nation of Zambia. Yeah, we were retweeted by the Grand Coalition of. Here we go. It says This is their official. This is their official Twitter description. We are a grand coalition of civil society, church organizations, and political parties on campaign for a people-driven constitution in Zambia, and their hashtag is Zambian Constitution. How crazy is that? So, the Grand Coalition of Zambia found Student of the Gun's Twitter and retweeted us, and it was the one. It was the tweet where I said when the debates were going on the other night that I don't know if you call it a debate. The Communist Party display, the socialist versus communist nonsense that was going on television. I don't watch that crap, but and what I wrote was one of the douche nozzles. I think it was O'Malley. I don't know who it was. It might have been O'Malley, but promised to take executive action in a debate. When you have a candidate in a presidential debate who goes on the stump to promise to take executive action, we should be a little bit concerned. That's not the president's job. The president's job is not to rule by edict or dictate. You are not a dictator. You are not a king. You don't get to make the laws via presidential executive action. But apparently in America today, the Democrat Party thinks that that's the president's job, is to take executive action when Congress won't work fast enough. No, that's not the point. But anyway, I posted that on November 15th, and the Grand Coalition of Zambia shared it with their followers. And that got me to thinking.
You guys should be scared. You should be scared.
Should we be scared?
Yeah, you should
scared. No, it got me to thinking. I wanted to just throw this out there. I wanted to throw a challenge out there to, we said that we're actually, according to our, what is it, the RSS feed?
Our Doppler radar?
No, that when you go in there and you can check, Jared can go in and he can see every country where the show has been listened to or downloaded or what have you, and it's like 145 countries. And we had that little discussion last week, and I'm just curious as to how many countries in Africa are listening to us. How many people in Africa are listening to us? I know in like Kenya they speak English. I know a lot of African countries they speak English. It may not be their first language, but I know a lot of people there speak it. So if you are currently in an African country, I know that Africa is a continent, not a country. And if you are in the continent of Africa, you could be in Morocco, you could be in South Africa, you can be in Nigeria or Botswana or Kenya or wherever. If you're in what's that really camel flea bitten nasty armpit Somalia. Yeah, if you're in Somalia, I want you to head east and keep walking until you feel the sharks at your feet. Okay? There you go. All right, moving on. Today is Wednesday, and because it is Wednesday, and because we are Student of the Gun Radio, we have a special feature. Do we not, Jared?
Do we?
I don't know. Do we? Quick timeout. Before we get too far in, did you look at the show notes?
Sure.
Look at the show notes, butthead. I dropped in the John Farnham DTI training. If you should have heard us speak in reverence to John Farnham.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Student of the Gun. If you're not, or if this is new to you, perk up your ears, listen louder. John Farnham has been a professional firearms instructor for going on 40 years now. He was my mentor and has been my mentor for going on 30 years, almost 30 years. I took my first 40-hour defensive handgun class, fighting handgun class from John Farnham in 1986. Yes, 1986, so not quite 30 years ago. And he has mobile training classes, and he's going to be having one in Las Vegas, Nevada. And what I want you guys to do is go to Defense-Training. I know, Jared, no one told him, no one got to him, but that's been there for a long time. Go to defense-training.com and look up the courses and see if there's one in an area near you. And to Arturo's question about whether or not we will be in Las Vegas for the SHOT Show, the answer is no. I would rather slam my testicles in a car door than attend a SHOT Show. So there's that. All right, moving right along. Thank you to our friends at Crossbreed Holsters. Crossbreed has the new Freedom Carry, which Jared has been farting with. So, do you're trying to do appendix carry or spleen carry or
appendix? Yeah,
appendix carry.
I was just testing out my different options for appendix carry.
Different options for appendix carry. Now, Crossbreed Holsters, they don't do like, what would you call that? Alternative carry or secret carry or discreet carry? Or
what do you mean?
The product you got from Tough Products. What is it? What is the actual name of that product?
I have the name of the product that they make.
Yeah,
it's called the iTuck.
The iTuck.
Yeah,
and it looks like an iPhone case. Now, before you freak out and you're like, "Oh, that's the Pager Pal," and it was, the Pager Pal was. The Pager Pal, they sent me one 20 years ago, like 1995. I got a Pager Pal, and that was basically, it was kind of like the same concept, Jared, only you had a fake pager that you pulled up on and the gun was hidden behind it. I tried that, and I just could never make it work for me. It was just really uncomfortable. And if I saw someone with a pager on their belt today, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Did you just get here in a time machine?
Yeah.
Or are you a doctor? Because those are the only people. You know what's funny about pagers is we've gone completely 360 degrees. 30 years ago, the only people on the planet that had digital pagers were doctors, because they were on call and you had to be able to reach them 24 hours a day, right? If you watch the old Dr. Beeper from Caddyshack, Dr. Beeper had a pager. Well, here we are all the way on the other side 30 years later, and now the only people that will have them are doctors. But I digress. So check out Crossbreed Holsters at crossbreedholsters.com. They got a new Freedom Carry. Our friends at Tough Products sent Jared an iTuck, and it's kind of like an iPhone case disguised as a holster disguised as an iPhone case. You have to look at it.
I've worn it. I'm still in the process of testing it. I've worn it for, I don't know, probably 24 hours now.
Even while you were sleeping?
Well, I meant total.
24 hours awake.
Yeah, 8 hours a day or so. And it is very comfortable, and it works.
He's very comfortable.
So far, it works pretty well.
He's very comfortable. Yeah. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in America. Check them out. And if you're looking, you know what that is right there? Right behind me in the studio, in the Glass Case Motion studio. What do you have there? That is what is it? The AK-63D? I think it's called the AK-63D Delta. It's the underfolder AK. It's not a 100% made in the USA. I know we always talk about that with Century. What they did is they took some parts kits and they built them onto their machined lower receivers. It's kind of a cool little gun. Well, it's not a little gun. It's an AK. Frog Lube. It just works. It just works. It's green. It's minty fresh. It's food grade. It's non-petroleum based. So you know what is really nice about using the Frog Lube, Jared?
It smells awesome.
Well, besides that, it's minty green and so forth.
It works.
I had the table set up in the studio the other day. Speaking of which, where's that table at? It's gone?
It's in the back of my car, actually.
Oh, okay.
I need to bring it back in here.
I had the table set up, and I was reassembling after I Duracoated those pistols. I Duracoated the Chris Vector, and I Duracoated Zachary's Glock 17. I did that, and I reassembled them, and because I completely field stripped the Glock all the way down to just parts, right? The 33 parts or 34 parts or whatever is in a Glock. And I put it back together, and of course, when I was reassembling it, I cleaned it. I cleaned all the funk and gunk and nastiness off of it with the Frog Lube solvent, and then I put the Frog Lube on it. Well, I had Frog Lube on my fingers, and my phone rang, and I answered my phone, and I put it back down, and then I did something else. And I thought, you know what? It occurred to me, it's nice to be able to use a lubricant that's not petroleum-based or that's not really corrosive or what have you, because you don't want to get petroleum-based products on, well, anything. You don't want to get them on your ammo. First of all, you guys know that petroleum-based lubricants will kill your primers, right? You know that. You should know that. Some people are artards, and they just dump copious amounts of like CLP and gun oil on their guns, and it gets in the magazines, and it gets on the... Now, if you have a sealed primer, you should be okay. But the fact of the matter is if you expose your primers to a petroleum-based lubricant or most solvents, it'll kill the primer, it'll destroy it. But it was nice to be able to clean my guns and do stuff and not have to worry about, oh crap, I touched that or I rubbed on that or what have you. So, and you know what? Mike Deddy commented about the when I put the Century gun. I put a picture of the Century AK-63D
home defense pistol.
Well, no, the AK, this one right here.
Oh yeah.
When I laid that on the table next to the computer in the studio.
Oh, with the coffee, yeah.
Yeah, and Mike said, did you lube it with bacon grease?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what would be cool? To do a limited run of Frog Lube. If they would do a limited run.
Smells like bacon.
And instead of adding the mint flavor to it, add bacon flavor, add a bacon scent. Make it the same. It's just making, food grade, same thing, but just do a limited run. Wonder how expensive that.
I wonder if the scent.
It would probably be pretty expensive.
If the stuff that smells like mint, I wonder if it has anything to do with the way that it functions, or if it's just scent.
It is green. I mean, I'm not a chemist, but I think when they make it, it's kind of like a normal grease, oil, clear, and then they add the green to it because it's Frog Lube, because it's owned by a frog.
Right.
Frogman. A frogman owns it. And last but not least, let's just go ahead and Jared's ready, and we're 16 minutes in already. Jared is ready to talk about our SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk, and you guys are going to get all giddy because he's going to play the song for you.
Physically fit, woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big your body out into the big Titanic, woman, nice, sweet, energetic. Big your body out into the big Titanic, woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big your body out into the big Titanic, woman, nice, sweet.
Thank you guys in the Grad Program Facebook group. I posted a question in there, or I posted a post to ask you guys to ask questions, and you did. So I have a few weeks of fitness talk, and I will be talking about stuff that you guys want to hear about. This week I want to talk about running with a gun, and we had a couple people ask the same question: and how do I run when I run? How do I run with a firearm? And previously it was a long time ago that I talked about running with the crossbreed or working out with my crossbreed on, and I've ran with my crossbreed and I haven't had any issues with it. But this new the product that I just got from Tough Products, the iTuck. I believe that it might be a better option for running.
I don't know.
Because I actually kind of...
It's in the fold right there. Well, hey, rock on, do it, man. Get on the treadmill and do it.
I haven't actually done it yet.
Test it out.
But up to this point in time, right now, as I'm talking, my crossbreed is the best option for me. That's what I've ran with before, and I know it works.
You know what's funny?
What?
We have a fitness center here. What we could do is we could conduct testing. We could conduct like run, walk, jog testing with different options. You could film it and you could put it right in there. We could do a scientific test in in the red room.
Well, you know what's funny, or it's actually not funny at all, is that some people think that carrying a gun while you're running makes you look stupid, so you shouldn't do it.
It makes you look uncool.
Yeah, it makes you look uncool.
It's better to look cool and be disarmed.
Now, from my standpoint, running with a long gun is a no-go. Do you carry a long gun every day?
Well, I mean,
is that what you do? If not, then why?
Well, I mean, if you're running down the street with a long gun in your hand, people are gonna deliberately take note.
Yeah.
Like, what is this guy doing? So is someone chasing him, or is he running towards something? When I see someone running, I always wonder if there's someone chasing them. I always look behind them to see if they're being chased.
Now, Dad's probably had more experience with
running with guns.
Yeah,
with M16A2s and rocket launchers.
What about daily, like your daily carry? Have you ever?
Well, first of all, I don't run on the street. If you know anything about me, I've run all over planet Earth. And so I'm all done running all over planet Earth. I'll run on a treadmill. I hate running. I don't like it. I'm not a runner. I don't run for the runner's high. I don't do it because it's fun. I do it because I know that I need to. It's a necessary evil to me. So when I'm in the red room running on the treadmill, I'm doing it because I know I have to do it for health reasons. If I could do something else and get the same result, I would do that.
You kind of can.
Yeah, kind of can, but let's face it. I only have so many hours in the day, and I need to get my healthful exercise in. I need to keep my heart healthy.
Yeah.
So I just get my butt in there and I do it, and then I'm done and I move on with my life. But and the reason I don't run outside right now is I'm in my 40s, and if I run on asphalt or concrete or what have you, the next day I feel like I can't walk. It just destroys my shins and my knees.
Here's the deal for you guys that run. Concrete is the absolute worst thing that you can run on, other than nails. But concrete just has no give whatsoever.
No.
Asphalt has give.
Asphalt has a little
Grass
bit of
has
give.
a lot of give.
Yeah.
It's harder to run in, but
I suppose if I
do
was really hardcore, I'd drive down to the beach. But the fact of the matter is it is. I wouldn't work out nearly as much if I didn't have my own gym.
Yeah.
Now
it's a lot more convenient.
You're like, how'd you lose weight? I bought a gym, and now I can no longer afford food, but I have a place to work out. But no, but seriously though, if you're going to, you should be armed while you're out. Let's face it, because nobody gives a crap that you have good intentions. Like, I'm not going to harm anyone, and I don't intend to do anyone any harm. Oh, okay. I don't even understand the nonsense in that. People have this weird mentality that based upon the activity that they're engaged in, that they will or will not be attacked, or they're more or less likely to be attacked. Like, for instance, if I go out at night to the movie theater or to the restaurant with my wife, then I'm armed. But if I am out running, then I'm not. Because what? Because why? Because what? I don't understand it. I really don't understand the mentality, except the human laziness, the intellectual laziness that we use to talk ourselves out of doing what we know is right. Light guns, let's face it, you're running with a Glock 17 is probably not going to be very comfortable. Fanny packs, you can wear one and tighten it up and slip it around your back so that it rides over your fanny, like actually over your butt, as opposed to in front of you. Light guns like the Keltec P380 or other guns of that sort, such as the DB380 and so forth. Those kind of guns you can tuck. You can get tuckable holsters. You can get clip holsters. You can get what have you, and they shouldn't move around all that bad. And of course, it also depends on what kind of clothing are you wearing. Are you wearing really super loose-fitting, floppy clothes, or are you wearing clothes that have like a serious elastic waistband? The elastic waistband is going to make all the difference. If you don't, spend the extra $5 and get a good pair of running shorts as opposed to the non-ones. If you're wearing those gauzy things, that's basically just like a piece of silk because it doesn't chafe your skin, then I don't know what to tell you.
Gauzy things.
Put it in your those real super gauzy, lightweight running shorts that are basically just like a couple layers of silk.
Oh, like the really short ones?
Yeah, the really short, silky, like
women
ones.
Can wear those.
Women can wear those.
I'm okay with that. Speaking of women wearing stuff, I have another question here. It's actually from Lauren, and her question is: yoga pants, yes or no? And I say yes with an asterisk.
Oh, you're going to be that guy?
And yes, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to. I will be that guy right now.
Be careful.
Whatever I can say.
I'm warning you.
It's the internet.
It's the internet.
If they cut me, I can say whatever I want.
I can say whatever I want on the internet.
So yoga pants, yes, unless I think that yoga pants should tear or rip after a certain size.
You're a racist.
No, that's actually...
You're a sexist.
A realist.
You're a sexist.
And if any of you don't agree with me, then whatever.
Know your limits.
Yeah.
Know your limits. But,
and that's all that needs to be said about that.
But yeah. But the fact of the matter is yoga pants are definitely there, yes. Thumbs up.
I'm going to go with whoever invented those was a genius.
Oh, yeah. Is that it? Is that all? Oh, you have a congratulations in there.
Oh, yeah, I have a congratulatory... It's Lisa Hedgeny. She's one of our grad program members. Moses, it's his wife, and she's come a long way. Long story short, she had kids, and having kids comes with gaining weight. And now she is actually in better shape, and she is down lower in weight than she was before she even had the kids. So congratulations, Lisa. Keep up with your journey and keep me updated on it.
Hoorah! No. Okay, go ahead.
I need them to nominate some people. I've only got about one nomination per week, and I want them to flood in so I can just have them there. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/PTJared, or just search PT Jared.
PT, like physical training.
Yeah, physical training.
Physical trainer.
Or personal trainer.
Personal trainer. All right. Well, let's move on. Brownells. We're going to thank some people, and then we're going to dive into the main story today. Brownells at brownells.com. What can you get at Brownells? Well, you can get Frog Lube. You can. You can get Duracoat can-in-can technology. Duracoat. Life is too short to have an ugly gun. It just is. And Velocity Triggers. Jared, what is the Velocity Triggers' new catchphrase?
Superior quality and value.
Superior quality and value. Go to velocitytriggers.com and check them out. All right. We've got a Religion of Peace update, and then you guys have probably been wondering and waiting and when I'm going to address this. Well, the answer is today.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Das geht an die Oma des letzten Propheten Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ich bin Allah so dankbar, ein Muslim sein zu dürfen. Das geht an die Oma, wir sind die Oma. Check das aus. Bismillah. Islam ist die Wahrheit.
That's for you, Johnny Jihad. You can suck it. Can I say that on this one? Can I say suck it?
It's the internet. You can say whatever you want.
No, we have family-friendly rating. I get to keep my family-friendly rating if I say suck it?
Sure.
Pretty sure I do. I think you just can't say the 9. I think it's just the big 9 that you're not allowed to say. All right, this story, I went deliberately to the UK Daily Mail because even though the UK Daily Mail is very much like a tabloid, they also do things like report stories that the American media won't, or they will report a story that the American media will hide and only print on Saturday evening when no one's paying attention. And here we go. The Paris police riot shield with 27 holes. Astonishing picture reveals horror of siege of the Bataclan. I think that's how you pronounce that. Bataclan. As chilling details emerge of how terrorists use hostages as human shield in front of doors and windows. Surprise! Actually, I'm not surprised. People are like, well, what do you... A lot of you folks out there in the Student of the Gun audience get it, and we appreciate that. I tremendously appreciate the fact that you get it, that you understand, that you've been listening louder, that you're educated. Jared, what do we got... messages from people that are like, hey, Paul doesn't need to talk about this. We already know. How many times do I need to come to the black carbon steel microphone and tell you that the death cult known as Islam is a danger to the free people of the world? How many more times? Do I need to tell you this? Do I need to tell you that there are monsters living amongst us? Yes, evil monsters. Monsters that would kill your children, that would kill your wife, your mother. Do you understand this? All right, you understand, you get it. But here's what we're going to delve into this a little bit. That's not a riot shield, it's a ballistic shield, you morons, but whatever. There's a big difference between a riot shield. A riot shield is essentially Lexan that they can see through, and it's there to stop bottles and rocks and stuff. A ballistic shield, on the other hand, is something completely different. And we've got a ballistic shield here that was shot up with AK-47 fire. All right. Astonishing pictures have emerged of a bullet-riddled riot shield. No, it's a ballistic shield, but whatever. Used by French police who stormed the Bataclan concert hall and take out the ISIS terror squad. The final moments of the siege were fully revealed in the first day today as survivors said the ISIS gunmen promised to murder a hostage every 5 minutes. The extremists used men and women as human shields in front of the Paris concert hall venue's doors and windows as armed police arrived within 20 minutes as they started executing the 89 people who died inside. The first officer on the scene described the horror at 10 p.m. how he stormed in at 10 p.m. and said it was like something from Dante's Hell, dozens of bodies piled up on the floor. Yeah, this is what you get. This is what you get when you're reasonable. This is what you get when you're more worried about offending your enemy than you are about protecting yourself from monsters. Do we understand this? Do we get it yet? Do we get it? The unnamed officer shot at one of the killers who set off a suicide belt, while at least 2 more fled upstairs. Yada, yada, yada. The main reason I wanted to bring this up was that they raided the hotel rooms where these guys had stayed, and they found, I'm trying to scroll down, this is a huge story. I'm tell you what, you know what's sad, Jared? I'm really kind of, well, I guess I shouldn't be sad or depressed. The fact of the matter is, this detailed blow by blow with all the various attacks. There was at least 7 separate attacks that we know of right now. The UK Daily Mail and this story lays it all out. So if you're curious, if you want to go, into details, you can do it here. But one of the stories that I wanted to talk about, and it looks like I'm going to have to click onto another link, is the fact that the Hajj all shot up. They were all high. They were all shot up with dope before they went in and started killing. This is not something new. This is not new at all. This is an old technique. This goes back probably 100 years. Jared, talk to the folks for a second while I type in my computer.
My question is, why would they shoot up with dope? And are you going to talk about that? Because I have a speculation.
No, I am going to talk about it.
Okay. Well, I won't talk about it then. I'll wait.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that if you guys have, what's funny is PCP. One of the things that Dad told me was that he'll always know somebody that is on PCP because they'll be naked, run around busting out windows.
Oh yeah.
And what do people on drugs? What is different about them than a normal person? They don't feel pain. Mm. So you have to. They won't stop just from being shot. You'll have to actually sever a spinal cord or interrupt the nervous system to make them stop.
Yeah, here we go. I've got the story open right here. It says.
Let me finish my point real quick. I was just going to say that's there's 3 types of criminals, and that would be the third type, type 3. And we cover those 3 types in the Armed Living DVD. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, we're actually running a sale right now on StudentOfTheGunGear.com. You can pick up the DVD for $19.99 instead of $25. So go over there and pick it up, and Dad covers a ton of information in there.
Yeah, thank you very much for reminding me of that. And we talk about, like I said, type 1, type 2, and type 3, and what are those. But, they raided the hotel rooms where these guys had been staying, and they found, forensic experts are trying to work out whether the paraphernalia used to take drugs to fuel their killing spree or to help them make explosive belts. Well, I will tell you this: it's not a new technique. Most they found that when during the Battle of Fallujah, they found hypodermic needles and syringes and what have you. This goes all the way back to all you old jarheads out there know the story about the Philippine Moros and how they would smoke opium and then run out and attack the soldiers or Marines or what have you. They'd come running out of crowds with their knives all doped up. Haji doping himself up and going on a rampage is not new. It's pretty standard playbook for goat rapists and Haji. They like to do that. And whatever drug cocktail they're using, whether it's an opiate or whether an amphetamine or something like that, it doesn't really matter. The fact is they're doing it deliberately to give themselves an extra boost so they're harder to kill. And they also know that they're going to have, like these in these hostage situations, that they need to stay awake. So they'll dope themselves up with some kind of speed or amphetamines or what have you so that they can stay awake. But it also makes them extremely paranoid and extremely violent. And as Jared said, these are not people that are going to be scared because they see a gun. If your defensive plan is to how many people do you know that like the chamber empty people and the well, I'll just point a gun at them or what have you. Maybe, hey, Jared, remember the that ridiculous nonsense where it was called like the deterrent or something? It was a hard plastic fake gun in a holster that you were just supposed to buy and open carry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they'll see that and they'll be scared and they'll run away.
Or
no,
not.
These monsters are not afraid of. They're not afraid of Johnny Lawman on the beat walking around with his Glock 17 22 in his holster. They're not afraid of that dude. That guy does not scare them at all. Pointing a gun at them is not going to stop them. Pointing you're like, oh, how come you have to shoot them or just taser them? It's like, no. Listen, when we do our training, what do we call it? The triangle, right? The thoracic triangle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, basically, if you've ever seen any of the Student of the Gun official training targets, you know that the silhouette, the tip of the triangle starts at the nose and it goes down to basically the left nipple, right nipple, and it forms a triangle. If you put bullets in that general vicinity, more times than not, if you pump bullets into that area, people will stop behaving badly. It will get their attention because all the really important stuff. Generally, take your hand, open your hand up, and spread it out, and put it on your upper chest, like at the base of your throat. That is where all the really super important stuff is. And if you put bullets into that area, generally people will stop misbehaving, and they'll find something else to do, like expire and become worm food. But the title of this is not Paris Attacks. The title of this is Friends with Guns. And you know what, Jared? What occurred to me, you remember? Have you ever seen any of the posters or memes? They were posters before they were memes. But the rules of a gunfight.
Yeah.
Rules of a gunfight: have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rules of a gunfight: have another gun. Rules of a gunfight: bring friends with guns.
Yep.
And so forth. So the Patriot Fire Team, if we could come up with I guess kind of like a subtitle or. You know, what is the Patriot Fire Team all about? A real quick elevator speech would be, Patriot Fire Team is friends with guns.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
Maybe that should be the tagline, friends with guns.
Patriot Fire Team, friends with guns. I know you guys are out there in the United States right now. Listen to me. If you're not participating, if you haven't gone over to the Patriot Fire Team site yet, I don't really know what you're waiting for. A special invitation for me to say pretty please. I've already got my stuff taken. I'm already taken care of. We've got our ducks in a row. So you're sitting out there, and you're not a cop, you're not a soldier, you're not a Marine, you're just a citizen. You're a man, you're a woman, you have a family, and you're worried. You're thinking, it doesn't really seem like the people that are supposed to be protecting me, whose job it is to protect the borders of the United States, like the president and the Congress. It doesn't seem like they give one rat's fat rear end about keeping us safe. It seems more like they're interested in feathering their own nest and furthering their own careers first, and then, oh yeah, all that other stuff, we'll worry about that later. Who is going to protect you? Who is going to take care of you and your family and your community? If you're waiting for Washington to do it, I don't even know what to say to you, because it ain't going to happen. They don't care. It's evidence. Every single day we're treated to more and more evidence that the people in D.C. could give one rat's rear end about you, not even one rat's rear end. They don't care. If you watch those imbeciles in the Democrat debate, I saw the notes. Those imbeciles were still, we have a lake of blood in Paris, France, that was put there by goat rapists, by terrorists, by the death cult of Islam. Mumbai, death cult of Islam. Nairobi, Kenya, Westgate Mall, dozens dead, pools of blood. Who? Baptist ministers? No. Death cult. College. Where was the college? It was in Kenya. Oh, wait.
That was a mall.
No. There was a college too.
Yeah.
That's the most
there
recent.
was also a mall.
The mall and the college. Paris, twice.
Yeah, the newspaper thing.
Yeah, Charlie Hebdo.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, what do we learn?
There's been so
Hashtag
many.
campaigns don't keep us safe.
Yeah, there's been so many that I'm starting to forget about.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's so many. And it's the death cult every time. And what are these idiots doing? These idiots get on television and are like really concerned about Islamophobia and the backlash. And then they're like, there's a pool of blood, a lake of blood on the ground in France, and these idiots are talking about global climate change. Are you kidding me? These people that want to be your leaders, that want to be in charge of you, don't even care. It's obvious. They don't care. Who needs to care? You. If you're waiting for them to fix it, if you're waiting for DC to fix it, it's not going to happen. You need to fix it yourself. It needs to start from the family, from the community, you, your friends, and your neighbors. And you say, okay, Paul, you convinced me. Now what? Go to patriotfireteam.com and just download the free report. Put in your first name, your email address, confirm it, you get the free report. It costs you nothing. Read it. And then if you think, I'm interested, I want to learn more, the book, The Patriot Fire Team, Preserving the Republic 4 Men at a Time, Chapter 9, Defeating Terrorism in the 21st Century. How do we do it? Well, Jared, I probably shouldn't blow my own horn. Blow the horn. Chapter 9.
Yeah, Chapter 9 of the Patriot Fire Team book is actually, it is titled How to Defeat Terrorism in the 21st Century. And sadly, it's becoming more and more relevant to what is going on in, well, coming to the United States, but going on in the world. And so you guys, I really want you to go get this. We actually made Chapter 9 as a complimentary download because the information is so important. If you go to patriotfireteam.com and click on the freebie tab, and it pops up with a little page that says, free report reveals how to defeat terrorism in the 21st century. Just enter your email or click the download the report button, enter your email address, and so we know where to send it. And you'll get it. I want you to read it. That is Chapter 9 of the Patriot Fire Team book. You can have that for free.
Yes, if you do nothing else, I'm begging you. I am begging you as an American. And you know what? This doesn't just apply to Americans. I don't care where you are in the world. If you're in England right now, I feel bad for you. In France, I feel bad for you. Because you're slaves. You're socialist, communist. Socialism is just communism in a new dress and lipstick. That's all it is. It's collectivism. And you know who always loses in collectivism? The citizen. Mr. and Mrs. Average. Go to patriotfireteam.com. Just squeeze those words together. Download the free report. I don't care if you're in Australia, wherever you are on planet Earth. Avail yourself to that information. I want you to read it. Take it for free as my free gift to you. I get nothing from it. Folks, tomorrow, let me see, maybe make sure that I got everything in my notes covered before we move on. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how governors in the United States of America are standing up to the coward-in-chief and saying, no, we don't want your foreign invaders. We don't want your terrorists and terrorist sympathizers. The answer is no. We're going to talk about that in detail tomorrow. All right, kids, remember, you're beginning once, student for life.